Hello! I want to say back, but I'm here. Let's say it that way. I am not quite sure yet how long it's been since I did a video for you, but I am so excited to be here right now. I was just driving home and I got this massive desire to record this video that I could not wait to get home. So I walked in the door, said a quick hello to Evie, sat down, turned on my computer, and I'm recording. My heart feels so open and I am so grateful for that. If you're brand new to this channel, perhaps this won't make sense, but this is simply because I haven't done a video in a while. And there's so many reasons being, and I know, I don't know where we just went out of focus, but every once in a while when I haven't done a video in over a span of time, I'll record like an update video. And I've noticed recently that some people don't really like that. So I don't really want to do this video of like why I haven't been recording videos, but I will fill you in on what's been going on. And I also just want to serve as a reminder that this channel is my exposed heart. This is coming from the deepest place of me. This is where I feel the most free and open. I have several channels on YouTube. They're linked down below if you don't know about them yet. And each one has such a different flavor. It's kind of like each channel represents a different part of me. The Maniacal Vegan Gal channel feels very, I almost said contrived, but I don't feel like that's the right word. It's produced, let's put it that way. It's me, but it's me thinking about things a lot and planning things and spending time crafting it. Then there's the What a Vegan Eats channel, which is much more real, but it's also edited, at least nowadays it is. And it feels a little bit more me because I don't always wear makeup on there, so I often feel very vulnerable. But I've used that as a way to move forward through that vulnerability. Then there's this channel. I consider this like the third in line. And this is just me, raw me. And sometimes I'll just like print myself up a little because it's hard for me to be on camera when I don't feel like I'm looking at least decently good. But I also don't try too hard on this channel to worry about my appearance because that feels very superficial. And then I have a couple other channels I'm not going to mention at this time. People have asked me, why do I have so many channels? It's really because each one just represents a different segment. Anyways, that's just a little filler in. Oftentimes I forget what I've said in past videos, so I apologize if anything's repetitious, but if you're not watching a bunch in a row, this is probably fine. So the reason I just wanted to say all of that is because I guess for me, when I record videos for this, I want to feel fully inspired. I want to feel like I can really open up my heart and give you my all. Just put it all out on the table, just open up there. And my energy just hasn't been there quite like it is in this moment. Like right now, I feel like I might even need to do a Periscope or something because I just feel just so open. And it just feels like this year, 2015, has been a lot of heart opening for me and a lot of soul searching, a lot of trying to figure out who Whitney is and what my place is in this world and what I really want to say and trying to figure out how to say it. I think the challenge that I've been facing a lot and the reason for me cutting back on a lot of videos and actually social media content in general is that I have something I know I want to say, but I don't always know how to say it. And I don't always want to say it. Or I don't feel like at that day it's going to be most effective. It's going to be most open and me and all that. And I feel like that's kind of cheating you and it's forcing something. And I don't really want my work in this world to be forced. I want my work to always come from the most authentic place, from right here in my heart, when I want to say it, how I want to say it. And I guess that's really the big reason I haven't been doing a lot of content here. I've said in the past that I feel a sense of guilt for not being as consistent. I really want to get back on the weekly video content creation. I just haven't been in that flow recently, but that certainly doesn't mean that it's not going to happen. So it'll happen when it happens, and you'll know that it's happening because you'll see a bunch of videos consistently happening. So what I want to do here was to just open up to you and see where things went. I have some random things that I want to share that you might be interested in. I also want to read some comments from this channel. I haven't even looked at the comments in what feels like months. I think it's been months. I don't know. Like I said, I don't even remember the last time I did a video here, and I just want to, respond to the comments live. But first, I went to a really great event tonight, and now where is the book that I got? It was a book launch, and I don't know where I put it. It is for a new book called The School of Greatness by Lewis Howes. And I go to a lot of book launches. In fact, I have so many books that is just a fraction of them. Those are basically the stack. Oh, it's right up there. Okay. It's right there on the top here next to the other book that I went to recently, The Thug Kitchen. That was the other recent book launch party. And I just get sent books all the time, and I love books, but man, it's hard to keep up. I'll just read a little section of one, and then next thing I know, I have another book in my lap or whatever happens, and there's just books galore of what feels like a big bookshelf here. It's really not that big, but my point being is that I feel just like books are coming into my life more and more. So I went to this book launch tonight to support Lewis, who's somebody that I have met a few times, who I have a lot of mutual friends with. And if you don't know his work yet, he's, I don't know if I'd be able to properly describe what he does, so I will leave a link to him down below, along with anything else I talk about tonight that's always going to be in the YouTube description field. Lewis basically is a man on a mission to find the greatest people doing the greatest things in the world. And he's an entrepreneur, and I guess that he's just helping people figure out how to be great. And thus, I'm very attracted to that content. So it was really powerful going to this book launch. As I mentioned, I go to a lot of book launches, and each one is different in its own way. And this one was very different. I go to a lot of vegan book launches, so typically they are surrounded, they're revolving around food somehow, and they've kind of got this social party feel to them. This was more focused around inspirational and motivational, and it was cool because he had a couple people do these presentations or these performances. One of them was Adam IQ, and again, I'll link to him down below, who's this incredible poetry artist, poet. I don't know how to describe him. Very modern, like a poetry slammer style. And I was blown away. I recorded a Periscope of that, and it might be the best place to upload it here. I have so many Periscopes saved. I'm not quite sure where to put them all, but maybe I'll put them here on this channel. The other one was Rob Bell, who I was not familiar with before, but apparently he's been making waves for a while, and he's been doing things with Oprah, who I adore, and I can't believe I never heard of him before. And he just gave this incredible talk, and there were a couple lines in there that really, really resonated with me that I wanted to start off with yet. And I think the main thing is that he was talking about the human, the common feeling we have around beating ourselves up, about judging ourselves and judging others, and this obsession with success. And so much is based in the past or in the future. What I've done in the past, I'm successful now because of what I did back then, or I'm not successful yet, and one day I hope I'm going to be really successful. And this really, really resonated with me because I have those feelings all the time. In fact, constantly. And so it was this wake-up call of me thinking, I'm not living in the present moment, because the present moment is not based in the past. It's not based in the future. It's based in right now. And I've been thinking about a lot of that this year, probably since I started reading Eckhart Tolle's work, what's it called? A New Earth, that book, which again I'll link to down below. That book, I cannot recommend it enough. It has shifted so much of my life and impacted me in some very profound ways. And my biggest takeaway from Rob Bell's talk tonight was he said that he recommends that instead of thinking about what you did or didn't do in the past or what you want or don't want in the future, if every day you focus on the present moment, especially when you wake up and you say to yourself, I can't believe I get to do this. And he went on this whole talk about, how fortunate we are to be alive, especially like in this massive universe that is beyond our comprehension. But for us to just savor this, whatever it is that we're in, and just remind ourselves that we are experiencing a miracle. We are experiencing that miracle of life, and we should just be grateful that we get to do this life, and we get to do it right now in this present moment. It's hard to articulate quite the way that he does, and if I can find a good video of him talking about this, I will link to it down below as well. I'm sure if you dig deeper into his work, you will find it. He talked a lot about participating in joy and how we make a contribution to this world. So if we can just have more joy and contribute the best parts of ourselves to this world, that in itself is a success. So I felt like that was a good kind of summary of a lot of the things that I've been feeling, and that's probably why my heart is so open tonight, is because I experienced that and it really got me thinking. So I'm going to check out some of your comments here and see where that leads me, because I'm curious what you've had to say since the last time I checked. I've mentioned that it's hard for me to read comments sometimes. I do a lot of judging of myself through comments, and I'm trying to get better at it. The last video I recorded was September 10th. Oh, that wasn't so long ago. Okay, that was just over a month ago. Could have been worse. Before that, July 31st. So, yeah. Okay, well, let's see what these comments say. I'm trying to find the section. Oh, here we are. Okay. First one I read is, "You're not bad looking." Okay. The next one comes from So Fantastic Danielle, who said, "Your videos are very inspiring to me as a young person with many goals of helping people and creating. I can feel down at times with all the stress. This channel most definitely helps me feel grounded, and I don't have to be so hard on myself." Reading things like that makes me want to continue doing this content, because, I just want to see less people judging themselves, because I've judged myself so much and I know how hard that is. And when you can look at other people who are so beautiful and so just, again, each of us is just such a miracle, it is so sad that we judge ourselves so much. And that's, again, not living in the present moment. So grounding ourselves in that present moment can help us reduce a lot of stress and give us a lot less judgment to ourselves and other people, and certainly not to be so hard on yourself. So Danielle, I'm very grateful to help you on that journey. Samantha wrote, "I don't believe that he was the one, and I think she is lucky it is over." Okay, I think Samantha was commenting on the handling heartbreak video, saying that she thinks that this person I was talking about is lucky that it's over because he feels he is settling and never will be happy. So that one is very specific to that video. If you haven't seen that video yet, I was responding to a question about how to handle heartbreak. If you're going through any sort of heartbreak, or somebody else who is, or you just want more perspective on that, you can check that out. Scott Webster said, "I'm excited to hear about your new business." I'm excited to share that, and I will share a few little tidbits with you right now on what's going on with all of that. It is quite a journey, and that's also a huge part of the reason why I haven't done quite as many videos on my channels. Is it's a lot of work and it's a lot of energy to put into this, and it is so many ups and downs. I have moments where I think this is going to be the best thing that I ever do in my lifetime, and then there are times where I think, is this going to make any impact at all? Is this just going to shrivel up and die? Is it ever going to go anywhere? I mean, I am on a roller coaster with this new business that I'm working on, and it's very scary at times, and other times very exciting. So I hope that it comes to a place where I can share it with all of you. Right now in this moment, I just don't know. There are times when I feel very confident about where it's going, and other times where I'm like, maybe this won't go anywhere. But I'm okay with that. I'm along for the ride and wherever it's going to take me. And I know that it'll lead to something. I just don't know exactly what. So I think it's one thing that I've been practicing lately is not being attached to outcomes. So that has been a very good lesson. Okay. I don't know how to pronounce your name well, but Y Elna, did I do okay with that one? Who said on the handling social, maybe it was social criticism, said that the video was 20 minutes well spent. I have a lot to think about now. I need to take your advice and start putting my energy towards people I actually care about. Yes. That reminds me of a conversation I had yesterday. I went into a cafe and I was ordering a drink. And the man behind the counter is somebody that I've interacted with, and he was feeling very open, and he wanted to share the story about someone who had come in and was really rude. And he obviously needed to talk about it, so I was listening, and he was sharing all the instances of how rude this person was and blah, 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 and how he didn't understand how somebody could treat another person that rudely and all of that. And what I reflected on with him was that one of the best things that we can do in those moments when we face another human that is not so nice to us is to be as centered as possible so that we don't add any more negative energy into it. And that can be really challenging at times. And to just send them positive energy. I think it's so important for us to identify who is beneficial to our lives and who's draining our energy and not contributing to a positive experience for us. But I also am realizing more and more that it's important not to disregard people or to send them any further negativity. Because a lot of times when people are negative towards us, they're experiencing some major hardship and they just don't know how to express it. So many people just don't know how to communicate. Throughout my life, I've wondered so many times, why aren't we taught to communicate better? Why aren't we taught to love each other more? Why so much hate? I was just watching this show on Netflix earlier tonight before I got home called Narcos. Have any of you guys watched that yet? I love TV. I watch TV more than you might realize. And so I just love kind of escaping. But I kept being pulled out of this show because it's like this crazy drug story. And a lot of it's based in reality. And there's so many deaths involved. And they're killing humans. They've killed animals. And I'm just thinking, I cannot believe there's this much cruelty and selfishness happening in the world. And it's all over. You turn on the news. You go to CNN.com, which is where I get my news from. You open up your email, wherever it is, you have a conversation, you listen to the radio, whatever it is, death is all around us and it's horrifying. And I just we can't contribute anything. I mean, what is the point, I should say, of contributing anything more negative into this world? There is so much crime and hate and death and disaster happening. Why bother? So to this point of this comment, put your energy towards people you care about, but also give a little bit of love to people you don't necessarily care about because they probably need it even more than the people that you do care about, right? If we can just take a little part of us every day and give it to somebody who might not even realize they need it. Send them that love, even when they're not so nice to you. I don't know. I think that could help. All right. So, Victor Riviera. Victor, you fill my heart with so much joy, just your name, because you're so positive. He was commenting on a video. I don't see the whole title here. Is it called Nurturing My... I'm guessing it says Nurturing My Authentic Self, but I forget what I titled this video. Victor said, I say that we follow you because of your authenticity and your message, not because of thumbnails, catchy titles, flashy production, etc. And personally, I specifically don't follow people who pretend every day is a sunny day filled with photo shoots. Putting yourself out there with authenticity takes courage and requires the ability to be vulnerable and in a very public domain at that. It does. It's interesting, isn't it? It takes more effort sometimes for us to be real than for us to be fake. That was also something I was thinking about tonight when I was at the party. It can be challenging in Los Angeles to be real. it can be challenging not to try to be somebody you're not. I was listening to a podcast episode tonight, and it was an interview with a woman who runs a whole business based on helping introverted men find their, learn how to date or something. If I remember, I will link to it. And she was talking about her business, but one thing that I found interesting was she mentioned how a lot of people feel like they have to present their best selves when they're dating, but that's not really their real selves. And so a relationship cannot be based on us if we're just presenting our fake selves. And I thought that's like LA in a nutshell. And I fall into that trap more often than I would like to. It's like, I go out tonight and spend all this time putting makeup in my hair and putting on outfits and, just trying to make myself look as best as possible. And then you walk in the room and you feel like you have to kind of walk like this and just be this mysterious, beautiful, attractive person. And it's that game that so many of us play. But what if we were to just walk, what if I just went to the party like this, wearing this shirt I would never normally wear out in public? Why not go out like that? That's just not the LA culture. And it's just so funny how that takes so much effort. But it's even scarier, and for many of us takes even more effort to be authentic because we're not practicing it and we're not used to it and we're so scared of it. And it takes so much releasing of not judging ourselves. So that is true. And it's easy to fall, for me personally, and I'm sure many of you can relate to this as well. It's so easy to fall into this trap of wanting to look perfect, especially on social media and on YouTube. And I'm becoming less and less interested in doing that myself. Okay, let's see here. So Unlimited Flows wrote, this is to a video I entitled, Do You Matter? You gotta understand, baby, sometimes things are a little weird and I'm not exactly sure how to respond. I hear you talk and it just speaks my mind, but responding back seems as if I'm just repeating what you said. So if the thought ever harasses you, just know that you do matter. FYI, there were times when I would watch one of your videos and feel a sense of mental clarity. So that should already tell you a lot in a few words about the wonderful things you do for everyone by keeping it real. Sorry if I haven't responded on your videos for a while, but I do appreciate you. Take care. That's very sweet of you, and I appreciate that. And, I think that we're attracted to things that reflect what we really want to be in life. So if you're here watching this video, this long video that's over 20 minutes, you're looking for something. You're looking for support. You're looking to find who you truly are. You're looking for comfort, perhaps. You're looking for identification, right? And I know that's what I look for whenever I'm absorbing a lot of content. And I really appreciate all of you for being here, for not just supporting me, but for supporting these messages of positivity and authenticity and that mental clarity, right? That's what I'm seeking to offer all of you, is tuning in to something that's going to make us all feel better, because when we feel better about ourselves, we do better in this world, and we want to spread more kindness. So just please do me a favor and pass it on to other people. As I said earlier, the more that we can just continue this flow of positivity, the better. All right, a few more here. Pablo Magu said, you're so sweet and intelligent, but definitely don't overwork yourself. You come first, not us out here in the web. Thank you. I appreciate that. He also said he commented on his own comment. Also, the human race is a real mess. Every one of us, even the ones who are trying, until a movement emerges that can reverse our total ecological, political, economic upcoming collapses. Something to think about in regards as to how moronic it can be to lose one's mind and superficiality, it's hard to say, that really does nothing for social improvement. It sounds a lot like what I was saying earlier, and this is what I mean about being attracted to people who are saying the things that you resonate with. We're kind of all on the same wavelength, and sure, you can look at human race as being a mess, or maybe we're all just exactly where we need to be. And this is just part of the shift, right? Sometimes we have to hit rock bottom in order to improve. And, we are certainly experiencing collapses, but without being a historian, I believe that those collapses happen all the time. And I guess it comes back to being a miracle. It's a miracle that we have not blown ourselves up. It is a miracle that this earth still exists and that we can remain positive. I felt very grateful at one point today for the freedom that I have in the country that I live in, the state, the city. I mean, that's something that some of us may take for granted. But with the upcoming elections, I was thinking about, I don't know what the next president is going to want in this country. And, there's a lot of things that happen underground that we're not aware of. And there are things happening all over the world that we feel very out of control with. So again, sitting in the present moment and just saying, I'm grateful for where I am today, whether it's health, happiness, family, whatever you're experiencing, being grateful for it and not taking that for granted, and doing your best to remain grounded and present and grateful and open. I feel like that's really the way out of the mess, because many people, when they close down, when they're not grateful, when they're bitter, when they're angry, when all this stuff, it builds up and that erupts. So perhaps what's really keeping us all together is the people in this world who do feel grounded and want to make this world a better place. And I know that those people exist, especially after tonight's event. And I think that's the reason why I am in LA, really, is that LA could be very superficial, but there are a lot of really incredible change makers here. And it also is a representation of the whole world, I feel like, because LA can feel like a mess. We have this drought, we're on the verge of self-destruction here in Southern California, especially. Who knows how long the city is going to be around for? It might be gone in a few years. I don't know. But, there are people here that are working really hard to keep everything intact. And I think that that's just an example of what's going on in the rest of the world. So we just got to keep doing our best every day. All right. Kelly said that she's also looking forward to hearing about the new business. Kelly, I'm sending you so much love. Again, I'm excited to share that. Yamira's Cruz says, thank you for sharing your thoughts. You've spoken to my heart. I really understand how you feel. Again, I'm so grateful to speak something that your heart's already feeling. Kathleen and Sagan said, nodded so much my head is about to fall off. That's awesome. I hope that you're still doing that right now. Wow, ton of comments. Okay, I'm going to go through the rest of them on that specific video. Joanna Kim said, thanks so much for sharing your thoughts about life, business, hopes, emotions, and lessons learned. I'm very excited to hear more about your new business venture. So great to hear your enthusiasm for choosing authenticity over quick and fleeting success. Jessica, I really love the way she spells her name, Jessika, Mona Lisa. That's a great name. No one else is better than you because no one else is you, and you're absolutely wonderful. I say that right back to you, Jessica, as a reflection. I think that's a beautiful thing. So to everyone out there, remember, there's no one else like you, and you are absolutely wonderful. Lisa Gonzalez says, love these videos. Thanks for sharing with us. You're welcome. Mrs. Shimmy on Down, great username, says, I love you, Whitney. Sending you love right back. M said, what was your contact lens prescriptions at worst and best? I don't see any link to a form for comments. Okay. Sometimes I forget to link to certain things. So thank you for pointing that out. I don't know if I added in that link, but I will try to remember to do that now. My contact lens prescription at worst, and this is relevant because I was talking about going to the eye doctor and realizing that my eyes were not getting worse in prescription. They were simply allergic to my contact lenses, which was eye-opening, literally. They were like negative 2.5 or something, and now they're negative 1.25 in one eye and negative 1.5 in the other, but that's slowly going down inflammation. So it's, half the prescription I had before. So barely need for contact lenses. And lastly, Kristen R92 said, looking forward to your new projects. You're so inspiring. And as I said, I'm very grateful to share it all with you. So I'm going to wrap things up. Thanks for letting me express myself so much. Thanks for holding this space with me today. You all mean so much to me, and I really want to learn more about you as much as possible. So what I would love is for you to leave me a comment and let me know, what are you most grateful for right now? When you wake up tomorrow and say to yourself, I can't believe I get to do this, what are you talking about specifically? What is the first thing that comes to mind? You can say that right now. Like, what is it that's happening in your life that you really can't believe that you get to do? And if you're drawing a blank, think about what you're most grateful for. Sometimes it's hard for us to think about what we're grateful for because we take so much for granted. One of the first things that comes to mind is Evie. I'm so deeply grateful for her. If you follow me on social media, you may have seen that one of my family's dogs passed away earlier this week, and it was incredibly hard. It was a very tragic situation. And I could go further into detail about that, but I'm not going to in this video. It was a sad opportunity to step back and really be grateful for Evie, because we never know when tragedy will strike. And so that's part of being present and grateful, because everything in our life is temporary. So for you, thinking about what you're grateful for and really stepping back and saying, I can't believe that I get to experience this. I can't believe I have this in my life. I can't believe I have this body right now, this home, this life with me, this miracle. It can be the simplest things, but I would love for you to share. Oftentimes writing things down helps us solidify it, but you never know who you're going to inspire by writing that in the comments. So that's another reason. It'll help me learn more about you. It'll help you spread the gratitude that you're experiencing, and it'll help inspire other people to feel grateful for all sorts of things. So I would love for you to have this sentence. I can't believe I get to do blank. Really looking forward to reading that. Well, I hope to be back here soon. I will make another video as soon as possible. And as soon as possible to me means as soon as my heart continues to feel this open. And I would really like to be back on track. So stay tuned for whenever that happens to be. Thanks again. Until then.